Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Row of Gilead here, coming at you with a really exciting video today. We're going to tell you how we unlocked Morgan Le Fay at level 65. Now, a few caveats here. First and foremost, you got to know my account level at the time was a max of 68. But most of my teams and almost all the characters I used in this event were at level 65, with one exception. Our Captain Carter was accidentally upgraded to level 68. But with that one exception, everything else was completely doable at level 65. All of our abilities, all of our teams, team comps. So what we're going to do today in this video, we're going to break down the different teams and the different Scourges that we used to get through this at level 65. And my hope is to get this all done with all four of these characters before today's reset. The reason being is that I kind of dropped the ball. I didn't think it was going to be possible. My idea was just I'll wait till 70. I know I can get them all unlocked at 70, and we'll go from there. But something struck me over the weekend, and I decided, you know what, we're going to try to get Morgan Le Fay unlocked, because I was using Hive Mind, as you'll see as we kind of walk through what I did. And it happened, and it worked. So what I'm going to try to do today is we're going to get through Morgan Le Fay. I'm going to walk you through how I did it. I don't have any gameplay. You're going to have to take my word for it, but that's why she's here, all highlighted front and center, so you can see I have got her upgraded, ready to rock and roll, free to play on the free to play account, and I'm going to tell you how I did it. So first things first, getting into the game, let's go to the roster, and I'm going to show you guys the teams and the team order I used in order to unlock Morgan Le Fay. Now, we did the event at difficulty 5, and we had a bunch of Scourges on that we'll go over closer to the end of the video, but first thing I wanted to do is just kind of walk you through the teams I used and the reasons I brought those teams. So the first few nodes, you need Global and Heroes, and I took in Extreme X-Men and Rebirth, both raid teams. Now, the thing with Rebirth, you're going to have to get them into at least level 85 gear tier 16 if you want to unlock 7-star... I can't remember if it was Green Goblin or Black Cat, but one of those pacts, one of the newer legendary events, requires Rebirth to be used. So don't invest super high in Rebirth, but knowing this, I have some of my Rebirth built up, and Extreme X-Men being the newest mutant raid team, they're comparable, like, major investment, and again, gear tier 12 level 65 is not a huge investment. Just using these two teams, I was able to work my way through the hero and global nodes. With Rebirth, I did end up subbing out US Agent in the first node for Spider Weaver, in the second node for Nick Fury. Now you'll notice my Nick Fury isn't even level 65, so there are improvements that you can make on this roster, especially if you're hyper-focused on unlocking these Horseman characters, to make it so that you have an even better experience than I did. Again, I just kind of stumbled into this, trying to find something to do over the holiday weekend. When I'm recording this, it was the Easter weekend for those who celebrate. And yeah, so I just had a bunch of downtime, and I was like, screw it, let's give this a shot, and it worked. So moving on ahead, obviously we used Hive Mind for the very specific team nodes. They're just the newest team, they're the best team to use. If you're going to bring up other characters, the Underworld team is also useful, and they're also farmable very early game. They make for a great war defense team and a great Cosmic Crucible defense team, so not a terrible investment if you don't have full access to the entire Hive Mind team, but I will tell you, this was like pressing the easy button on nodes 5 and 10. Now, for villains, we went two routes. We went Sinister 6 with our boy Kang here, right? And we were able to make it through a node and a half, and I had to clean up the second villain node with the rest of my Sinister 6, Superior 6 characters, and Emma Frost. Now, I could have done things a little differently here and saved Kang for use in, like, the later Cosmic nodes, and honestly, I think that's probably the best way to do it. But again, just to show you that you don't need this crazy investment in amount of characters, I was able to beat all the nodes with two teams, level 65, gear tier 12, or 11 in some cases, as you can see here with Electro, and not even all their abilities were upgraded. So just, getting them to that 60-65 tier, getting their abilities as close to maxed out as you can. A lot of level 5 and 4 abilities will be helpful. Infinity Watch and this fun hodgepodge down here I used for the Cosmic nodes. Now, the first Cosmic node, I just took in this team straight down here on the bottom, which is Hela, Kestrel, Icarus, Cersei, and instead of Vol, I had used Adam Warlock. When I got to the second node, I kind of realized that this team right here on the bottom with Adam Warlock was not going to get through it, so we did. We took in our Infinity Watch team. Again, not all maxed out. A lot of them gear 11, gear 12, middling abilities, lots of 3 to 5 ability tier levels in there. Nothing perfect. And we were able to 2-tap the final Cosmic Node with this team as a sack team. We were able to take out a couple units, weaken them, and we were able to bring in this team of Valhalla, Kestrel, Icarus, and Cersei to mop it up and finish it off. So just to kind of give you guys the walkthrough of what that looked like, and we'll kind of touch on that again as we go over the map and where I used which teams. Now, let's get into the not the Dark Dimension, but the Scourge event itself. They are kind of like their own little take on Dark Dimension. It was in place of Dark Dimension the year they came out. So let's go in Morgan Le Fay. We had it on difficulty 5. Oh, good, and it saved all my Scourges too, so I don't have to use my list. The first one I equipped was Experimental Serum. The 20% max health is not really a whole lot, and it's pretty easy to get around, and it was what I needed to round off to 500,000 points, which is enough to get the 3-star unlock. Then I also used Weakened. Player character healing is reduced by 20%. Really, there's only 2 teams that use any kind of healing, so this didn't really affect my roster all too much. I mean, Rebirth was a little tougher to get through some of the nodes, but in the grand scheme of things, it was almost unrecognizable, unnoticeable as I played through the event. Then we had Power Fatigue 1. Characters' special abilities cost 1 extra energy. Same thing with Power Fatigue 2 for the ultimate abilities costing 1 extra energy. And then the No Help Coming on turn, apply 2 heal box to player characters. This also seemed rather negligible, I'm not going to lie. And that's what we went in with. Now, again, when you come in, you got these first 2 nodes are hero. Second 2 nodes are global. Now, both Rebirth and Extreme X-Men are both all hero and all global. Now, when I did this, I was kind of futzing my way through, not really particularly caring if I succeeded. So I had started with Extreme X-Men. It might be worth trying to start with Rebirth, keeping your Extreme X-Men fresher for coming to these global nodes, as these were more challenging than the 2 hero nodes. At least that was my experience between using Extreme for the first couple and then subbing out Rebirth and Extreme throughout these 2 to finish off those 4 nodes. Again, you have your Hive Mind in the middle here. Web Warrior, there are going to be a couple characters that you could consider using, especially Ghost Spider, as she's getting a rework for the new skill raid team. But largely, you're going to want Hive Mind or Underworld. Both of those teams are going to see multiple uses throughout the game, whether it's going to be a raid team as a war defense team in the case of Underworld. They have a lot of city and other synergy plug-and-play characters that you can use in other Scourges, so highly recommend. Again, I took Hive Mind and breezed through this. If you don't have full Hive Mind, consider building up Underworld characters, especially characters like Nobu, Mr. Negative, and Kingpin. And then again, we push forward here. We have our villain nodes. Again, we took Sinister 6 through here. You can also take characters like the Marauders. I didn't even use my Omega Red or my Magneto, but those are excellent characters that you can consider taking through there as well, especially if you have Emma Frost, who is now farmable pre-level 60, so it's going to be very, very helpful to building out a villain team for these Apocalypse Scourges, especially for this one. Now, lastly, we had the Cosmic Nodes here, right? These were not too terrible. This first one, we took the Omega Red was the problem. You gotta focus down that Omega Red. Once you've got him out, once you have this Hela out, you can take your time, keep yourself healing and buffing up, and pretty much crush through it, especially if you have a bigger Infinity Watch. Mine wasn't built up. You might even be able to use that here to really crush through this node. And then again, we came in here and we one-sacked with Infinity Watch to take out a bunch of useful units, most notably Shuri and Nick Fury. I think those were the only 2 units I took out on the first go. And then we came back in with the regular Cosmic team, Icarus, Cersei, Vol, Kestrel, and Hela, and finished off this node. And then again, the final node with the Hive Mind team, since it is the newest team in the game that you can use in this event. Very, very simple. Can't stress enough how easy it was. And it's pretty easy to farm most of them right now, with the exception of Void Knight and Gwenom. So that being said, you might have to get a little lucky to use those. And again, that's why I recommend building up your Underworld for use in this event. You're going to get some city villains that you can use in other Scourge events. They're going to be a great war defense team. They're a good Cosmic Crucible defense team for early free-to-play. They really trip people up with Nobu's revives and all the different minions and things. And then again, that can supplement your hive mind if you do not have the full team. But again, pushing for full hive mind is going to be the easiest way to make sure you get this done pre-level 65. So with that being said, everyone, that is all I've got for you today. I hope you found this instructional. Again, we're going to try to have more detailed overviews of the next few. We're going to try to have some nodes to show off, tell you where the tough parts are. This just kind of happened organically, and I wanted to get this out there into the world just so that people can start to see that you can, in fact, with very minimal planning, begin to unlock these horsemen and start your grind to Apocalypse before you even hit level 70 at Gear Tier 13. Before you get Ultron, you can have Morgan Le Fay and the full Darkhold team, which also should be noted. I'll give you a quick update as well on what my horseman grind looks like. We do now have the full Darkhold team. They're all maxed gear and ISOs for the most part for my current level at 68, well 69. I hit 69 before recording the video. And hopefully by the time this reset is done, we will have most of the horsemen unlocked at 3 stars before even hitting level 70. And, you know, that's just going to be a huge, huge boon in making sure that our rosters are as self-driven as possible. And what I mean by that is when these events came out, it was very cookie cutter. And now we have a lot more agency in what we can choose from. And the earlier we knock these characters out, the better we're going to be able to take that agency and build up more useful and important teams, or in some cases build into other combos and other teams that use some of these horseman characters. So that being said, friends, that's all we've got for you today. Again, I hope you're able to take some good info away from this video. I tried to keep it short and sweet. The others will probably be a bit longer as we'll have some gameplay and some more in-depth tips. But that's all we got, friends. That's the Scourges you need. That's the levels. That's the rough gear and ability requirements. These are the teams I used. Again, there are other characters out there that you can use. This is just what I found successful, and I just really wanted to focus on getting the word out that you can get these horseman characters starting at level 65 if you're a daily player. You don't even have to be an avid player. Just a daily player getting in, doing your dailies, and unlocking these clutch characters. So thank you again for coming to the channel, everybody. I hope you had a great time. Hopefully we'll catch you on the rest of these videos, getting these horsemen unlocked at level 65. But as always, my friends, long days and pleasant. And as I will see y'all in the next one.